Here's a fun one. In 2018, I made a video called "Do Not Draft Mike White," and I rewatched that video earlier today, and kind of the whole point I was making was that he didn't handle getting hit very well in college. Like he wasn't stepping into throws, and I don't know. I don't really remember evaluating him. It's kind of fun to look back, I guess. Like, was I wrong 3 years ago? 3 years ago, I make a video, don't draft him, and then in 2018, he has a really great day, on Sunday and plays fantastic. Has another day on Thursday where he plays really well, gets hurt. We don't really know. Looks like he's a pretty good quarterback. And I think what's interesting about this, I went back and watched that video, and I want to let everyone know, for a multitude of reasons, this is not a video I would make today. Not just because I think I might have been wrong, but also it's not really, what do I gain from making a video about a guy like Mike White from Western Kentucky who was a 5th-round pick? And I learned my lesson from Anthony Gordon, the Washington State quarterback. When he was entering the NFL draft, there was a lot of fans on Twitter and in my comments, kind of sharing a lot of buzz and going like, "Ooh, Anthony Gordon's a franchise quarterback." And I'm like, what? No, he's not. Like I had inside information. I went to Washington State. I knew a lot of people who knew him. And what I learned from that situation, I said, he's not a franchise quarterback, like obviously. And Anthony Gordon didn't. I don't even think he's in the NFL anymore. Like literally, he might be on the practice squad in Kansas City. That's it. But he is not a franchise quarterback, and I was right about that. And me being right didn't matter. There's no one from back then that's like, "Oh wow, Zach, brownie points! Like you got it right about Anthony Gordon." Nobody cares when you get it right. The only thing people care about is when you get it wrong, and they love to point out like, "Hey, 3 years ago you were an idiot." And unless a guy is a 1st-round pick, I've learned it's not worth it. Because why would I make a video saying a guy's not going to work out when it's just kind of a roll of the dice? You never know when a guy like Mike White's going to, 3 years later on another team, because he was drafted by the Cowboys, by the way, got cut in 2019. Now 3 years later has a good game on Sunday. Like, how could I predict that? You have no idea. Also, like, to make a video like that with a quarterback who's not a 1st-round pick, if a quarterback's going to be a 1st-round pick and I don't believe in him, I should say that, because that's a 1st-round pick, fair game. Everyone's going to talk about that. Not everybody's going to talk about a guy who's like a 5th-round pick. And unless I love the guy, I'm not going to say it, because first of all, what if I'm wrong and he has a great moment and that's all I get remembered for is, "Oh, you were wrong about that." No one's going to remember if I'm right. But also, it felt kind of mean-spirited. I watched this video, I'm like, I literally thought to myself, like, what if Mike White's mom saw this video? And she would just telling her husband, like, at night, "Man, people on the internet are so mean to my son." And I'm one of those people. So I want to be clear. Like, I would never today, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't, if me at 24 years old, Zach, went back in time 3 years and was like, "Hey, Zach, don't make the video about Mike White," I wouldn't make that video. I'd say like, "I'm good. I know I've learned like, hey, there's nothing to gain there by poo-pooing a guy who no one cares about. All you're doing is potentially hurting yourself, because if you are wrong, people are going to remember it. And also, it's just kind of mean-spirited." So I want to be clear. I wouldn't make that video today for all those reasons I said. I want to give Mike White credit, man. Like I watched him on last Sunday. I got on Sunday 5 days ago. I watched him on Thursday night. He's accurate. He makes good decisions. He reads defenses really, really well. I watched a video of him at the Senior Bowl breaking down coverages, and he's like just bang, bang, bang. Like he knows his stuff. And clearly 3 years into the NFL, he's really had a good time learning coverages and mastering every look a defense can give him. And he knows the playbook very, very well. He also throws a beautiful ball. Like, I think watching Mike White throw the ball kind of reminds me of Jared Goff, Jared Goff makes mistakes, plays for the Lions now, but he throws a beautiful ball. Like, that's undeniable. And Mike White really has a similar throwing motion and throws an equally beautiful football where you're like, ooh, like watching his motion, watching him release the ball right at the final finger, you're like, that's a great throw. So I don't know. I went back and was like, what did I say about Mike White? And that's what I said. I feel a little bit kind of bad, but like you can't change history. Like I leave that stuff up because I want people to see how far I've come. But yep, 3 years ago I made a video saying don't draft Mike White. Was I wrong? I don't even think I was that wrong because the Cowboys drafted him and then they cut him. So, like, that kind of already proved my point, but you can't predict the guy's going to have a great game 3 years later. So, there you go.